It's Saturday, March 8th, 2025. It is actually it's 8:25 in the morning. I've just walked out here, and this sty is my workshop, and it's a mess. And oh my goodness, look at this place. What a mess. Usually, matter of fact, always, except for yesterday, I clean up all my tools, put everything away, clean up the bench, make the place ready for the next day's work. I was so tired yesterday afternoon when I got done. I took a look around and said, I'm going to go take a nap. And I did. So here it is in the morning, and I got to put all this stuff away. I actually have to put it away because Kevin's on his way down here now. His shop is in wait state, waiting on parts on the bikes he's got in there, so he's bored. So he's coming down, and we're going to work on this green and white Triumph. If you will remember from yesterday, hooked up all the electrical, cleaned up the electrical wires under the tank, did a spark test, got good ignition spark, turned on the headlights, got a headlight, changed the high-low beam to whatever it wasn't on, and blew the fuse. So I put a new fresh fuse in there and, did it again. So that pretty well indicates that it wasn't a fluke. And the problem is either up here in this old these nasty Lucas switches. Anyway, they short out inside. I'm going to check that first. And then go into the headlight and check the wiring in the headlight, because that switch goes directly into the headlight. And goodness only knows what I'll find when I get in there. So that's where we are. We're going to do some electrical work and then continue dressing up the bike. I don't remember if we set the timing when we ran it the first time. I don't know. If not, then I have to open this primary and make timing marks. So that might be on the agenda for today also. So right now I got to clean up this mess before Kevin gets here and sees it. And I'll let you know how things go as the day progresses. We are back to bright sunny sunshine. Rain is over. They say another storm might be coming through later this week. That'd be nice. We can always use the water. Okay, I'm going to go to work now. Okay, so Kevin has arrived. It's about 20 to 9. Kevin, who we sometimes refer to as Super K or Big K. But one thing I wanted to show you before, I've got everything cleaned up. I got it all cleaned up before he arrived, so that's all cleaned up. Tools are all put away, but I did want to show you this. This is the all the extra wires and stuff that I took out of the center of the bike when I cleaned up these wires yesterday. So once you go to electronic ignition and a solid state charging system, there's a lot of wires that are no longer needed, and you have to figure out how to install them and get rid of the extra wires rather than just bundle them all up and put them in a big cram. So that's where we are. Going to start working now. I'm going to throw all this away.
No,
Kevin, I'm sorry, but this is funny.
yeah, for you.
Yeah, for me. Kevin is over here going through collection of odd nuts, trying desperately to find the nut that fits this light switch, because there wasn't any there. It was just sort of flopping around in the hole. So we're trying to find a nut that'll fit that. We've actually found a couple that'll fit it, but they're way too big. And the next step is we will take a hacksaw and cut this thing in half and make it fit. But right now, see, it looks like this. This is what it looks like, that, nice and thin, okay? It's not right, but that's what it looks like. So I'm going to let him sit over here and fizzle and futz for a little while.
That was the bucket.
All right. And in the meantime, I found over here enough bare wires hanging out, for example, right here, that if that had been touching the shell, it would short out and blow the fuse. I haven't finished with this. This is the technical term for this is a mess. So I'm going to go through here and disconnect a lot of wires and reconnect a lot of wires and get rid of these weird crimp-on connectors as much as I can in order to, I mean, like here's red going to brown, going to red. We can do better than that. And there's no solid red ground connection in here either. So that's what I found so far, and we'll be back. This is my, I'll try not to blind you, but this is my big shop light for when I work inside headlights. All right, I'll be back. As Kevin walks away with a 25-pound box of nuts. Let me show you what he just built. He took a thick nut like this and literally cut it in half with a Dremel tool cutter to make a thin nut that will fit on this switch. So it'll be held in place firmly rather than flopping around. It's a flagrant violation of shop rule number 26, which says thou shalt not repair the unrepairable. But it sure fixed this up good, didn't it? So now we're going to be able to put this switch in the headlight and bolt it down tight. But I mean, isn't it silly that we do stuff like that? Take a great big old nut and cut it in half. Way to go, Kevin. Way to go.
And we'll file it down, make it pretty.
There you go. All right, so the headlight is, we found several things, some wires that could possibly short out. This ignition wire going up to this indicator wasn't working. Neither indicator was working. I put new LED bulbs in there and fixed up the wires. See, this wire was really banjo tight, so we extended that and took the pressure off of it. And now the pilot light works and high beam, low beam work. So the headlight wiring is a whole lot better. It's about 20 to 1. I don't remember what time it was. We started in the morning. I'll check the first video to find out. Kevin and I accomplished a lot today. We found some flaky grounds. We took this rectifier completely out, cleaned it, and put it back together, checked it, tested it, and I should have done a video of that. I'm sorry. When I had it out on the bench, I should have shown you how to test a full wave rectifier unit with a meter, and I didn't think about it, so I apologize. I'll try to remember next time. Anyway, we got that. We had a lousy ground. This ground was just a terrible ground. It wasn't a good ground, and we ran it up here and picked up this bolt. So now we've got a great ground. We have tail light, we have brake light, we have headlight, we have high beam, low beam, we have horn, we have basically everything we're supposed to have. The electrical system is now healthy and wholesome. And that's the switch. Horn and everything. And we have your tail light back here. And we have, I'll hold the camera, see if we can catch it. Even I can't see from there to here. There we go. Okay. So we got everything we're supposed to have. And ignition spark, by the way. Good spark. So Kevin had to go home. Like I say, we had a cup of coffee, did a little bit of decompressing, because what we did today was very not strenuous, but stressful. Working on electrics is difficult, but everything's tight, everything's good, and everything works. So he's gone home, and he did a beautiful job of making that half-tall nut for this thing, so now it doesn't rattle around like a BB in a rain barrel. And I put LED indicators in these two warning lights, so they work now. All in all, an interesting morning. He's gone home, and I could call it a day. And I thought about it, and then I decided, what the heck, I'll just go ahead and do a few more things. So what I decided to do first was hang the oil line up to the rocker boxes because it needs to be put on. And so I looked at this nasty situation here and said, oh, I can do better than that. And then I traced it down to here underneath. And I don't know if you can see it, but that is that's a nylon tie strap holding that oil line on the back of that T. So I'll say it again, I can do better than that. So I'm going to replace this oil line and put a better clamp on it down there. Take it all the way up to here and put better clamps on up there. And I'm going to use the translucent oil line, the nylon reinforced translucent oil line, because I sincerely like to see the oil crawl up that line going to the rockers when I start a bike. I like to see the oil. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this rocker oil line on and run a new oil line right now. That's what I'm going to do now. Then I just might hang the exhaust system. It depends how much more I want to get done today. There we are. I'll be back in a while. Oh my, well, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm fading. I hear my recliner in the other room calling my name, saying, Frank, time for a nap. So I'm going to go take a nap. Anyway, I've done enough today. I put the exhaust system on this bike and I made a new oil line up to the rocker oil feed lines. While I had them off, I painted them. There's the new translucent oil line with two of the clamps that I like, which are the one-time squeeze-on clamps. And then down below, there was no room for me to get my crimper pliers in there, so I defaulted to a nice screw-on clamp that's real tight. So it looks good back there. So I don't see any problem with that. We'll know as soon as we fire it up and watch the oil go right up to the rocker boxes. So pipes are on, oil lines are on. That's about it. I can put the tank on tomorrow and maybe even give her a first start. Now, that's probably not going to be till late in the day or maybe the following day because Kevin has asked me to come up to his shop and help him put the primary together on a bike he's working on. And so I told him I'd do that. So that's where we are. It's Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. And truthfully, I need to do my taxes, which get real complicated when you own a business. So I may not even get to this until Monday or Tuesday if I decide to do my taxes tomorrow afternoon and the following day. It takes that long. You have to go through your credit cards because I run the whole business on credit cards. You have to take every single line item out of your credit card statement and assign it to an account. Why did you buy this particular amount of money on this day on a credit card? Which means going through all your credit card receipts and all that kind of stuff. Every single expenditure, every single bit of money that comes in, all has to be accounted for. It gets real tedious. So if you don't own a business yourself, rejoice. If you're thinking about owning a business for yourself, well, if you do it legally with a business license and everything like I have, it gets complicated. So that's just the way it is. That's life. So I will post this and get back to you eventually.